Okay, what you guys are seeing me do here is I'm mixing up a custom color. And I really want to make sure it sparkles, so I'm adding some of my favorite girly colors because it's a girl color. Miss Merida, you're going to have to share the chair. Don't you claw me. Oh, that's what this all is. Those are all from my older cups. Okay, now I've got it figured out. Didn't think I had that much of that left, but I did. I actually made that, so I'll add some of that in to see if that'll pinken things up a little bit. I'm not sure. Do I want to keep going with this, or do I want to use it? I think I'm going to use it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to wash. There's some epoxy on this cup. There's some of this custom mix down. And then once it's dry and set and all of it's nice and smooth, I have made some messes here. Kitty cat feet prints and Miss Marie. It's reversed right now. I mirrored it and sprayed it because it was on. I'm doing an experiment, but anyway, it's on a water slide. It's the little white kitten from AristoCats Marie, if you know the movie, and then one of her sayings. It's going to go on the cup, and it's because she's a lady. That's why. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to mix up about 5 mils of epoxy, and we'll be ready. And I have Kitty Helper, ever present in the chair, trying to crowd me out. That's what she does. Epoxy, that's where I was going with this. And for the chief complaint of today, it is still snowing. They said that it's going to snow about an inch an hour. And then he comes back with, oh, and it's going to snow for the next 24 to 48 hours. Or 18 to 24 hours. And I'm like, Seriously? So is it going to snow an inch per hour and then do the whole 18 hours thing, or is it going to snow for 18 hours but in the next couple hours we're going to get an inch per hour? Please elaborate, because my little heart can't take no more. And I just made Kitty Helper mad. She got down. She's giving me the stink eye from across the room. And I sliced my finger this morning with a razor blade. I had a little drip on the corner of a cup and ran out of sandpaper, and of course I can't just go to the store and get any right now because of all of the snow. So I was using a razor blade and it slipped, and well, I ended up giving myself 4 stitches this morning before my first cup of coffee. Not recommended. 0 stars. Towels are way over here. All right. Helper Kitty is about to become crazy Kitty. I can see it in her eyes. She sees me moving things. She just heard my parchment rattle. Yeah, we're gonna have a wildcat before much longer. She's got that look in her eyes. I need a stir stick. And like I said, I'm just doing 5 mils here. Maybe it'll be enough. I'll put it on thin enough that it's just going to grab. I've got to wash my cup so that can set for a minute. I'm not going to worry too much about doing the outside of this cup because it's pink already. Just make sure I get all the oils off of it. Where is my boot? Oh, it's in my skull cup. That was not the one that made me bleed this morning. Actually, I made me bleed. It didn't do it. But it was the stained glass cup that had the little bump on it. It was actually on the bottom. Don't know where it come from. Don't know how it got there, but it got there and it got me. So I think first I'm going to do the bottom just because I can, and it'll be easier. Now just smear this all over the bottom. I'm gonna go up and around the side just a little bit here, just to make sure some catches. Alright, so it's going to be off camera, but I'll show you guys. I'm just going around the edge at the moment, and then right in the center, just so I know it catches it. Ta-da! I'll be a Miss Girly. Okay, now line that back up with the hole. Put the pin back in. Try and get the safety net back on. I did it with one finger at that. I'm so proud of myself. And now what I will do is put this under here, move my glitter out of the way, and we will get this epoxy on here. I'm going to save that stick up out of the way just in case I have to mix some more. I'm going to hope that I do not. Oh, there's a sound I've come not to like. It's a text alert. So either my daughter's not got school tomorrow or my husband doesn't have work. Take your pick. Alright, so let's get this spread. Like I said, we're not doing a full-on coat. We are just making the glitter stick. So nice, thin, sticky layer. All in one direction, and then I'll go the other way. I keep trying to do it both directions at the same time. I know better. Make sure I get all the way to the top, and then we'll go the other direction. I debated on whether even to put something on the turner today, but they're saying that the electric has gotten better. The situation, we were having rolling blackouts last night. Every hour they would darken a new spot in town to try to get people to regulate the electricity. But right now it's not peak time. It's so they're mainly asking to conserve the electricity between 5 and 9, and this will be done needing to spin by 5, so I feel it's okay, and the power should not go out. I hope. That's what I'm saying to myself anyway. I've got to get this logo good, or else. Okay. And it's okay if you get it down here where you glittered before, because you're just going to put more glitter down. It's just the fact that it looks funky, but that's okay. It's like I said, we're going to put more glitter down. That's just there because it was there to begin with. And we have to just make sure everything has epoxy so it'll stick. And that's where we are at, I think. I think we've got it all. So let's start this glitter. I think I'm really gonna like how this is coming out. In fact, I'm gonna put this back in. And this is 2 or 3 different mixes that I have made, guys. This is from a mermaid cup that I made. This is from the Rich Bitch cup that I made. And this is from my daughter's Never Let Anyone Dull Your Sparkle cup that I made her. So I've got a lot of different glitter mixes that I made that I mixed into this one. And then I added a little bit, like I said, of the hot pink that I made for the mermaid cup. I love this color. Don't ask me what all I put in it to get it, but I love it. my bigger glitter in here is High Maintenance, which I am absolutely, totally, and completely in love with, and that's from Glitter Craze. And I will put that and the Diamond Dust that I put in here from the Diamond series. I'll put those on the link to their website on the description of the video below. I'm really gonna like this cup. Too thick, but I also don't want to miss anywhere. So I'm looking and looking and looking. And I was going to do a soft pink, just the cameo pink for this cup. And then I got to thinking, no, she is a lady, but she's a sassy little thing. And the hot pink will go so good with this. Look at that. Yeah. And just because we're a lady don't mean we can't be outspoken, right? And I think that's got it, guys. I really do. I'm gonna get all of this back up because, like I said, I love this glitter. And I'm going to use this mix until every last bit of it is gone. Don't know what I'll put it on next, but it would make a really pretty women's Western cup. Let's see if I can get the bulk of it off the turner. It's on my hand now. Not necessarily off the turner, but it's on my hand. That's what I'm going to call it, because I'm a lady. Because what else name would fit that just perfectly? Because I'm a lady, that's why. And I've arranged my trash bag where I just have to push the glitter or whatnot off the edge of my table, and it's okay because I'm going to come in and vacuum my table later. So, all right, well, that's where we are, guys. Have a good night. Take care. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, YouTube. All right, so we have our cup, and it is epoxied. The bottom's a little rough, but we will take care of that. I've got to sand the bottom yet. Like I said, it's a little rough, but we're smooth. So we are going to apply our water slides so they can dry, and we can get the rest of this party started on this cup. Now, they have a little bit of glitter on them because, well, I have glitter everywhere right now. So, first and foremost, we will place Marie, and, well, that's just what we're going to do, and that's where she goes. So, in the water she goes. I use warm water. And 30 to 60 seconds in the water. Typically with the warm water, it's typically more on the 30-second side. All right. Yep, and we are moving. So, place it where I want it. Smooth it out the best you can, because it's not going to cooperate, of course, this morning. There we go. Just have to be careful. Because this is clear water slide, and I did not cut a piece, so pardon my face. So I don't want this little piece here, because for some reason the Cricut did not cut it out, so I am there. Make sure there's no air bubbles underneath it. And be gentle doing it. That's why I'm using the silicone brush here. It will squeegee things out. Okay, and there's Marie. I may have to go get my computer. Hold on just a minute, because I would like to see how I have the prints in my mock-up. Alright, so I'm waiting for Design Space to open, which is going to take forever. And as you can see, whenever I took my X-Acto knife and lifted the tail to reposition it, and it didn't cut a piece out there either. Doggone it. To look at my thing better next time. It scuffed because this was clear water slide paper, and I painted the underside white so I could put it here because I didn't want the glitter showing through. But I scuffed it a little bit, but that's, right now it is what it is. Just have to be careful, guys. Hold on just one more moment, please. Sorry about that, guys. It's been over a week since anybody has been outside of my house, and we're all going a little having cabin fever, a little stir crazy. Let me open this up real quick. Pardon my reach. I know I'm reaching right across the view here. All right, maximize. Since the new update, Design Space has been behaving. I say that, now it's not going to load my project. Come. There we go. All right, so what I did was with the feet prints, don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. They cut individually, toes, all of it. So the only thing I could do was tape it together in the spot that I wanted. It's the only thing I could figure to do. So we will be placing feet prints, toe prints, kitty prints, whatever you want to call them, individually on this cup. So in the spots that I want them, I think I'm going to put a couple in at a time in here. And hope my tape holds is all I can do. Nope, it's not going to. There goes my toes down to the bottom. This is a sad, sad experiment. Alright, so anyway, I get to figure this out now. We've got a footprint here. And I don't even know what toes go with what one now. And of course they're all coming off. A footprint here. I'm trying to hurry, guys, but it's difficult with one hand, and I can't get my thumb wet because, well, stitches. Let it go. Oh man, just bumped my water. Alright, all I can do is keep things wet here and move them around whenever I can is all I can do, because this is going to be a project. All my toes are coming off in the bowl because, well, it's been well over 60 seconds. Now, kitties have 4 toes on each paw. And the main thing is I just need to unroll the toes now after I get them out of the water and get them to lay flat. Without too much moving around, because I need to make sure that I keep count, because we don't want any polydactyl cats. And that's not going anywhere, so I need to adjust my toes. Yeah, that's not working. Excuse me, I gotta get close here because this paint came off from underneath this toe here. Footprint, so I have an extra toe. Alright, so And these toe prints are going to look off because until I get all of these used, the thing is, toe prints, toes come in different sizes. And being that I don't know what toes go to what footprint. And this one's backwards. This is how it goes. Bless you. That's water from my other. I was like, how did that get water on it? Where I want it. Oh, and that one just moved. All right, now let's work on this one. That one looks like it's already off. I just fell off in the water. And of course, where I'm poking through the paper, I've lost another toe somewhere. Don't know where. And I'm 2 toes short. So, what I will do is we're going to take a footprint away anyway. So, I will just do all the toes again. And what I'm going to do is once this water slide dries, I will come back and I will touch these spots that I had to poke through with the X-Acto knife to pick them up. I'll touch that up so the white paint don't show through. There's that, just in case I need that. Yeah, I wonder if I do this like a temporary tattoo, you know, kind of thing. Get my cup really wet. We're going to experiment together, okay, guys? Because, well, why not? Now, I will say this is not an order. This is an idea that I got while being snowed in. I watched AristoCats with my daughter, and, well, I like Marie, so. Alright, so we're going to try this temporary tattoo style here and see what we get. Yeah, take my water and just that seemed to work. Look at that, guys. I think we just saved our project, or saved our headache from the project. Okay, we got a bunch more feet to do. So the next one we want to do would be right about there. Out that way. And I like doing this because now I can place it where I have it mocked up. Okay guys, I like this method. All right, let me go ahead and place these where I want them. That way I don't run out of toe prints before I have it where they all belong. Because, well, that's just me. I like order. I have to have order. And some semblance of control. I'm not dumb enough to think that I can control everything, but I am smart enough to know that I cannot control most things, but I can control how I react to things. And how I react to things is plan. I have to have a plan. And I have two more here, and I know I'm one short, but we can fill in the best we can. Do they both go? No, one kind of goes more straight up. There, yay. Okay, let's get these applied now. Trying to be patient, trying not to rush. Trying to go with if the tape has let go, then the water slide is on there. Oh, one toe has slid off. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, toe went crooked when I went to dry it. Of course it did. Gently, 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 gently. Move on to the next. Oh, it's dripping on me. That one did not get water under it. Everything but one has let go on this one. So put it back down, force a little water underneath it. There it went. Come on. Let that little piece, don't you be stuck on that tape. I really should be using my tweezers for this, but they're actually in the other room. Oops, he moved. Don't move. Move back. Oh, I'm going to have to move him back. Don't really want to go lift. Oh, no, he's going to move. Okay, awesome. spots that the water has gotten to, the tape lifts up. But where I pressed it down to the cup, the tape does not lift up that well, so I have to get under there with a knife gently and lift it up. Which, that part's okay, I guess, as long as it doesn't stick to anything important, we're good. Okay guys, I'm glad this actually worked out this way because I did not want big blob footprints. I wanted the individual toe prints and everything, so I'm glad this worked out this way. I really, really am. This one is just not wanting to let go at the top. Nope. So we are going to leave him. I will have to touch him up, but that's okay. I've got 3 more to do, and then I can set it to dry, and then we can touch it up tomorrow and do the epoxy. So let's do that. Come in at all the angles here and get the water in. And then lay this on top of the tape. I have another one with waterslide in the works. It's actually template is printed out there, and then its waterslide is here, and it's going to be a fun one. Because like I said, I got my inspiration the other day watching movies with my daughter, and we were watching How to Tame Your Dragon: The Lost World. And so I am making a toothless tumbler. And I'm going to do it peekaboo. It's a piece of vinyl that come off of my mat whenever I taped these toes together. Alright, that one's ready. You know what? I just thought it would really suck if I went to pull this tape off of here and I'd put one of these on upside down. Okay, so I didn't like the hot pink once I got it up there. It matched our bow, yes, but that's about all it did. So we will see what the light looks like as I get it up there. Fonts can be a pain, and I'm sorry, I forgot to turn notifications off. sticking to my bandage, it makes it a little difficult. I really don't like it when it does that. Alright, now let's go in here and weed this middle out here. The little blind lady's got to get close, sorry. To be blocking your view. Come on up out of it, please. And my E, when it welded, went solid. Dang it. So, I'm going to have to try to fix that on my own or cut it again. And I really don't want to cut it again. I hate when I don't notice it does that. You know, weeding vinyl is probably one of the things that I have grown to dislike about crafting. I used to not mind it, but it is just to the point that it's just so tedious. I'd rather just print a water slide, but you know. Vinyl's cheaper in the long run. That's what it comes down to. Vinyl's cheaper. Alright. How to fix this? Now it has a hole for the E. It's not as big as the other, but it will work. However, if this was for a customer, yes, I would go back and recut it. But like I stated before, this is not for a customer. This is just for something for me to do during the snowpocalypse here. Alright, so I'm going to put the cup in my lap for a moment because I took it off the turner and I did, so that's just the way it goes. Just laid that crooked, I'm pretty sure. And my Y just come up on my finger. Seriously? Man, everything is just testing me today. Don't know why. Everything thinks it's funny to test me today. With this freaking word on the bottom that won't stick. And it's not even a word, it's freaking 2 letters and they ripped off, so. Mama will need a cocktail tonight is all I can say. Okay, there's that. Now, give me my T and my A. Be right back, I need my tweezers. All right, now I got my T and my A. Shakes this morning too. That can't be helping a whole lot of anything. It's just this really fine font too, you know. You know what happens when you go messing with really delicate fonts, but you know. Now where'd the end of my Y go? Oh, mercy. You know, there was a point in time where my daddy would say, something's telling you to stop for the day. And I do believe something is telling me to stop for the day, so that's where I'm at, and that's what I'm doing. So, y'all have a good day. We're going to try this again tomorrow. See you later. Okay, guys. So, Marie is about to get her final coat of epoxy. Okay guys, so Marie is about to get a final coat, or a hopefully final coat of epoxy. Oh. How are you this morning? Our lovely weather update here is we are going on 270-ish hours of below freezing temperatures. Hopefully, cross your fingers, we will get above that today. It would be really, really nice to see some of this melt off. is that? I would love to get my glitter order, my epoxy order, alcohol inks, some other things that I've had on order that should have been here this week that they have canceled. Yeah, it's been a mess, that's for sure. And my gloves should already be here, so I don't have to use these huge things. But it is what it is, unfortunately, and well, it unfortunately sucks. Alright, forgot about the craft paper and my popsicle sticks. Whoops. Alright, guys. I'm not moving with intent today. I actually hurt my back shoveling the snow yesterday, so this is about full speed for me today. And it's even worse whenever I try to get up and walk, so we'll get this epoxy mixed, get it on, and then I do believe I'm going to start, I don't know, I'll have to think about it. I just don't know where I'm at today. My head is going in too many different directions. There's a couple that I want to start, and then there's one order that I'm waiting on to get a final color on. She's supposed to be contacting me with that, and she has not, so everything on that is planned out except for the color. And well, I don't start anything until I get payment, so that's just how that goes. So we don't got to worry about that, but I'm not going to plan any farther or design any longer until I get some positive feedback on that account, because I don't do that. I'm letting that set for a little bit, probably about 10 minutes. It'll get its consistency a little bit thicker, and warm up a little bit. It'll just put a thicker coat on some of this rough edge here that I have, which I sanded. That's why she doesn't sparkle as much as she did before. As soon as I put this epoxy on there, it'll be okay. But yeah, I'm happy with the way she came out. I would have liked to have used the darker pink for my words, but I placed it, it came up, it was a nightmare. Whenever I went to move it a little bit, and yeah, so, and of course that was my last 5-inch piece of hot pink that I had, and I can't go anywhere. So I used the lighter pink, and it is what it is at this rate. So my air bubbles are rising. epoxy. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to run and get me another cup of coffee, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. I'm back. I have my coffee. I'm set. All right, Marie, let's see where we're at here. Let me get one more drink before I put my hands in this epoxy. All right. I don't know if you can see, but most of our bubbles have come to the surface. They're just little tinies. And you can actually, as long as you don't linger. All right, where is, ooh, that cup's been sitting in the sunshine. It's hot. There it is. That was under mine. As long as you don't linger, you can actually take the torch. Here, let me get a piece of, no, it's in frame. Sorry, my back hurts. If you can see the bubbles or not. I don't know if you can. See the bubbles in there? You take your torch. Did you see them disappear? Not all of them did, because the rest of them are a little deeper, but the surface bubbles that had rose are gone. You can let it set, which I probably will, a little bit longer, and because it's not warming up yet, so it's not activated yet. I'm going to sit here and drink my coffee, and then I will show you what it looks like before we start again. Okay guys, we're back. I don't know, can you see? It still has a few micro bubbles in it, but those will come out when we torch it. But it's nice and warm and activated. That means it's going to be a little bit thicker when I put it on, which is what I'm looking for. Oh, I hate these gloves, I do. In fact, I'm going to do the whole pinky thing because I hate these gloves. And the pinky thing is me putting my index finger into the pinky of the glove and just using it. And I've worn so long, I'm sweaty, so. Here we go. Oh yeah, it's warmed up nicely. It does not help that this room, for some reason today, I guess the sun's shining on the brick outside, I don't know, but it is very warm in here. Which is fine with me, as long as it doesn't get above 75-ish in here. I'm okay with it because, well, that's the spot that I like to cure my epoxy in, is between 70 and I try not to go above 76, because then you run the chance of it flash curing, where it starts smoking and like really quick. It gets hard and it's like, okay, what did I do? And it can actually get hot enough that it'll start a fire. And nobody wants that. Okay, oh, there's a spot. Alright. About to where we can level this bad boy out now. Just about got everywhere covered, I think. now we'll go this way first. Oh, and I just put my bare knuckle in it. And I'm just running it over the top to make sure I get all the way to the top and get that seal. Make sure everything goes over my water slides and my vinyl. And all right, now we will break our finger off, because we're just going to put it back in, of course, and go this way. Oh, I just felt a spot that drug. So when you do that, you know that spot has no or very little epoxy on it. And I know this stuff levels out, but if you start out as level as possible, you'll end up with a better product. And depending on how this levels out, on the bottom where my bumpies are, where I didn't really want to sand off that look, because the way the chunky glitter laid, I absolutely loved it. Sorry about that. I apparently needed to turn off my notifications, and I didn't yet again. But anyway, as I was saying, after this levels and cures for a couple hours, I will come back and assess if I need to do a flood coat. I cannot wait until my order comes in to get my molds, so I quit wasting this little bit of epoxy every time. But that is that. If she comes out level and smooth, then Marie will be done, and I will be able to post some stills and a video at the end of this and show you how she turned out. If that's not the case, excuse me. If that's not the case, then I'll come back and show you what we did to her. Okay guys, so Marie is about to get her final coat of epoxy. Okay guys, so Marie is about to get a final coat, or a hopefully final coat of epoxy. If you like this tumbler or have one you want to see me make, comment down below. Subscribe and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care.